5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
OG's turn to ban.
Radiant team ban.
OG's turn to ban.
Radiant team pick.
Lakad mo to! Lakad mo to!
Normally.
OG's turn to pick.
Behold the horn of Magnus.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Rubik.
OG's turn to pick.
Faceless Void.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Alchemist.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to ban.
Seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Theban, we'll need our in-game mics on.
Turn to ban.
Yeah.
Radiant team ban.
Team.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
OG's turn to pick.
Radiant team pick.
Beastmaster.
OG's
These bad boys.
turn
Acoustic
to
panels. The acoustic panels basically stop sound bouncing off the wall right next to me. Just makes the audio like a little bit crisper. It just stops the audio from being having any kind of echo on it.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
10,
Radiant team ban.
Admiral Conquer.
OG's turn to pick.
Alright, what do we got here? Dang, they're going Mag Void. Oh, that's Kunko.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Oh, I need to put my hat on.
Ten seconds remaining.
Fuck yeah, dude. Western Tournament.
5 seconds
Look at that shit.
remaining.
Hang on. I have no idea how I get my...
OG's turn to ban.
Radiant team pick.
I'm not sure how this is gonna work.
Normally.
Lakad mo to.
Normally.
Kinda tricky. I think Trent's struggling.
10 seconds remaining.
I can't do it.
5
I'm killing
seconds
Trent.
remaining.
I can't do it. Perfect. Oh, there we go. Easy. Yep.
OG's turn to pick.
Elder Titan.
You may now select your heroes.
about it, folks. Thank you very much. Yes, let's get into this matchup. Virtus.Pro versus OG. I mean, it's an awesome series to start the game. Dame Steven, are you excited?
Trusty mate.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, we got a couple of throwbacks here, and one of the things I'm most interested in is like them just picking up this Alchemist first phase. It's really given me flashbacks to, I believe it was the We Play League, where they went with the Huskar in the safe lane for mid one, and they did this over and over again, and it didn't go very well, yet they were really stubborn on making it work. And in the end, it kind of just, it didn't really impress anybody, and they kind of flopped out the tournament. So I'm wondering if this Alchemist thing is going to be this thing around. I mean, has this been popular in high MOR games, or is this something relatively uncommon, which OG are busting out here?
The battle begins.
Знову забирають собі цього кабана.
Беру кабана 900 здоров'я.
How it is, yes. What is this? This boar is so disloyal. He just keeps changing teams. He's like, no, I want to be on Radiant. No, I want to be on Direct. No, I want to be on Radiant. I'm an OG fanboy. No, I'm a VP fanboy. Who will he end up staying for? Is the question. Are they going to keep this going? Is the other question. Damn, that's a tanky boar. Yeah, yeah. No, she is not. No, she is not. All right, interesting start to the bottom lane. Meanwhile, over at mid, we've got Thompson versus GPK, the Morphling versus the Conquer. How does this matchup usually go? Yes, taking a couple of hits down the bottom lane, but yeah, I mean, it's all about just trying to get the Morphling low enough, force him to morph a bit of Agi, morph a bit of Strength, sorry, and try and reduce his damage, basically, which GPK will try and do his best. I mean, it's kind of an interesting lane here because obviously, just between the two players, I think they're very similar in play style and in terms of, you know, Thompson was that up-and-coming talent about 3 years ago. GPK has been tagged by just about everybody now as one of the most exciting new talents to the scene. Ooh, getting very low, yeah, on this Beastmaster. Forced to back himself away, but will be okay. Yeah. Oh, he's got Chen. Oh yes, that's a lovely combination, isn't it? I mean, these guys, they've clearly done their research on these lanes and say, yeah, okay, this is going to be very nice. You might take a bit of harass, all good. Just bungee cord him back to base and bring him straight back again. Similar to what GPK can do on this Conquer as well once he gets that X marks at mid. But so far, a pretty sleepy lane phase. Let's have a little visit to the top lane, which you haven't talked about so much. Oh, Thompson, he's just being Morphling in middle lane. Nothing really exciting going on here. So yeah, Saxa kind of playing around the poles with save. Looks like mid one is having a slow start, but it looks like they've been pretty successful in disrupting the creep wave for the side of VP up top. this Morphling, and he's just casually walking around the enemy side of the map, forcing out a bunch of spells. Like, yeah, he's died once or twice, but then he just waveforms away. It's a really weird kind of gameplay. He's just walking on the enemy side of the map. That's his method of making space in the game. And I mean, they're 3k gold up. You can't really complain about it.
Yeah, the way I understood this pick now after OG has played this early game is they want to pick something that can pretty much be unkillable by the Kunkka on the mid lane, so that the enemy can just rotate mid and try to take the tower off of a X mark go ship combo. So the Morphling seems like it's done its job pretty much. I mean, the mid tower is still alive. They have an Alchemist on the team, so just by the mid tower not dying, they have not been able to get to the Alchemist and stop it from farming.
Yeah, there's been very little pressure put into him, like one gank into his neighborhood. He is feeling very unperturbed right now. VP, they need to find something. They put this Mask of Madness and the Yasha on the Faceless Void. I mean, he's had an okay game. It doesn't look good when you look at this net worth chart, but he's doing okay. He could have had a lot more if he was just farming, but he's trying to make plays with his team, which you completely understand. At the same time.
Here we go. A smoke play.
Here they go. Chronospear comes down, landing onto two. Great Chronospear. They managed to catch Sax from the backline. Hand of God going to keep Sax alive for the time being, but no, they will fall. Both of them disappear. No-Tail's going to go down as well here, I believe. Seb trying to save his buddy with a roar, but realizing there is nothing to be done, running himself away, and that is just 3 clean kills from VP in the middle lane, and now they can look to take down this tier 1. And finally, this tier 1 will fall. It is 60 minutes into the game where it will die. But now the map really gets opened up for them, and they can start to put some real pressure onto the side of OG and start to own this side of the map.
Yeah, they're going to start farming up this triangle area, make it much more difficult for OG's cores to find farm. And that Chrono, that's a Hand of God and a mech thrown onto the Alchemist, and he still got blown up due to the duration of the Chronosphere. So, very scary amount of damage coming out from DP.
Thompson goes for a cheeky kill onto Ilias again, just playing on the enemy side of the map, stealing the Void form, getting the time walk away. X-Marks drags him back, but he doesn't really seem to care. Even with the Spirit Vessel on him, Thompson is more than tanky enough to keep on playing, and they're going to be aggressive here. Just Thompson and Saxa, the two-man squad, going 1 versus 4 without a care in the world. They know there's backup coming. Mid one is nearby, and the rest of the team, I mean, well, No-Tail is nowhere nearby. He's off in the jungle finding himself some creeps, but Virtus.Pro, just without their ultimates, aren't confident enough to go and fight this.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool interaction with the Morphling and the Faceless Void. I think Thompson's plan here is to just morph into the Void, use the time dilation, make it impossible for the Void to actually time walk out anymore. Because most of the time going to be on cooldown and just kill him. So that's something that is going to be worth looking at in the engagements as well. Manta going to be Epileptic Kid's next item. He's not going for that MKB right away. Understands he really needs that Dispel against his own dilation, pretty much.
Yeah, because Saxon was doing the same thing. I mean, he's currently got time dilation. We saw him in the last fight running into the middle of everyone just to pop time dilation. Like, they clearly value this interaction a lot. And this is their way of countering this Faceless Void. And, well, so far so good as OG. With only 2 kills, might I add, are trying to breach high ground at this point. He's put a ton of pressure on mid one. Feeling very confident with this Manta, with his team behind him. More than happy to just come and split up here. X-Marks. And Charlie's on him as well. He's not too bad.
They know that VP Prodigy don't have the Chrono up, and they're just trying to split the map right now, get whatever they can, farm up while this big spells are on cooldown, so they're trying to force back whatever heroes just by knocking on the high ground. They do get 3 heroes back though. Magnus and Void did not fall for that fake push from OG here, and they will continue to farm it up in the top jungle at the moment. He's actually quite close to the Alchemist in that one. It's just 10, about to hit 10k, Ox up like 3,000 gold. You're gonna need a lot more than that though if you want to keep up with the Faceless Void in fighting.
Yeah, I mean, this spell is just lending himself so much better to fighting than the Alchemists do, so he does want to be further ahead than he is currently. Yeah, Virtus.Pro with one really good fight at mid is certainly looking like they are taking this game into their hands. OG again, kind of just victims of this very slow draft, but they're trying to play the map as best they can, and they're doing very well so far, but at the same time, VP is tightening that noose as they start to put the pressure up in the top lane, and OG try to return it in the mid lane, and they're pushing very, very strong, of course, with all these creeps, with No-Tail's presence.
It's getting really close to that E-Blade. It's gonna be nice to burst either the Elder Titan or the Enchantress in the engagements. the other heroes are not going to be so easy. Maybe if they can get like a lift onto the face of Void and a unstable concoction, they could be able to burst him as well. But if you mess up one of those combos on a phase of Void and he turns around and chronos you, that's always going to be a disaster.
Yeah, there is always that threat. Does Manta get ribbon time, darling?
Yeah, you can dispel it.
Okay, that's pretty nice then. Thank you, Phoeben, as OG just continuing to knock on the doors of Virtus.Pro. Hello, anybody home? It's an interesting game. A very tactical game, it feels like, in the opening match of the series. Who would you say is actually ahead right now? Because obviously, you know, the numbers look all shiny. 5k gold lead for OG, 4k gold lead for OG, but do they have the Alchemist? Who really would you put ahead of them at this point?
I think VP Prodigy are doing a great job at keeping up with OG's farming pace. And I think the later this game goes, VP Prodigy do have the stronger fighting capabilities. But OG, like, if they take a fight on your side of the map and VP Prodigy lose that engagement, they're going to lose all their buildings instantly. You got Beastmaster, Morphling, Alchemist, so that's the most scariest part, I think, for VP Prodigy. They got to keep on fighting on the dire side of the map and make OG react to them.
He has reluctance to come up the river, come up these stairs. Oh, we got a smoke on smoke here. Epileptic Kid, he's going to find a huge Chronos Nib, but no, he gets lifted. He wasn't quick enough. But now they can jump around the Chronos Nib, does eventually come down. The Alchemist on the front of it. Maybe they can bring him down. Meanwhile, RP dragging 2 heroes into that Chrono. An amazing play from DM to lock down 2 extra heroes. Oh, dearie me, it comes crashing down for OG Virtus.Pro. That is how you Chrono. And DM just grabbing 2 extra heroes and just scooping them onto the side of the Chrono, plus them onto the side of it. That was beautiful. The hesitation from Epileptic Kid nearly cost them the fight, but in the end, they fix it, they come through, and they have themselves now a chance to claim as their victory trophy. My goodness, what a play.
Oh, wow, that score from Natus is absolutely amazing. And I gotta say, OG looked like they could do nothing in that engagement. As soon as VP just threw out all their spells, and you got the Astral Spirit, the Order, the Bolt, there's just too much damage output coming out from VP Prodigy.
There's just too many ultimates in your face to deal with at that point. Yeah, that was, wow, that fight was over before it began. And you could see it setting up for something beautiful as they broke that high ground, but man, I didn't expect it to go that way.
And what we can understand from that engagement is that OG need to start the fight every single time. They cannot be the one getting gone on. I think they would just instantly lose a hero, and then VP Prodigy would just start picking off one by one. They got Chrono, they got RP, even BKBs are not going to save you this game.
But at this point, can they start fights into Aegis?
That's a really difficult thing to do as well. So it's going to buy them plenty of time to wait for that next Chronosphere now for VP Prodigy. They're not looking for a fight either at the moment. They just want that Chrono to be up again before they start running at OG. So OG, they do want to take some kind of map control at least, while there's still 1 minute left on that Chrono. But after that, once Chrono's up, I think OG are going to have to start moving back again and just play for this expiration on the Aegis.
In a way, when you're playing into these big cooldown lineups, you kind of need someone to be going out and, you know, forcing them to use ultimates, really. Force them to use ultimates, forcing cooldowns. Unfortunately, you know, whilst Thompson was making a lot of space for the Alchemist on this ultimate, at this point in the game, no one's really able to do that. In terms of duos of heroes who can do that together, and when Virtus.Pro are playing like this, it's very hard to find still, they are being aggressive on OG, interestingly. I mean, they know these ultimates are down for a little bit. Chronosphere is not available, so they'll take the tier 2 with the space they have. They do have an X-Mark down onto No-Tail though. This might be the consolation prize for Virtus.Pro here as GPK gets on top of him. No-Tail with all his little creep army here. He's probably going to lose his life, although that said, Sentinel's going to slow him down. No-Tail on the run. Can he get himself away? There's an Astral Spirit following him. Torrent will miss. The most high-speed chase I've ever seen. Look at him, into the trees, giving him the sidestep. GPK, will he see him? He will not.
Normally.
I'm so surprised. He didn't even have boots.
He didn't have boots?
Yeah.
Just bought them in the fountain. Suddenly realized, yeah, I probably need some boots if I'm going to get into that situation again. But just walk away. Apparently,
maybe he did. I think my screen is bugged. It says he has 320 movement speed. So when I clicked that, I'm like, wait, but he was moving a lot faster.
Can happen sometimes. Yeah, he's got 408 on my screen. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's one of those weird bugs. Sometimes the attack and move speed values are looked good. Anyway, Chasing Void, having a bit of fun right here. Doesn't manage to dodge the stun. Very nice. We're on the backlines, but Seb's actually the one who's been put to sleep. Left Electric just gets caught and starts wheeling away. We'll try and heal him with a hand of God, but it's not enough. The Torrent Storm comes down, just defending the retreat here for Virtus.Pro as they back themselves away. But they might not be done. Epileptic comes in from around the side, looks at No Tail, gets him with a bit of a cuddle. Oh, drops a Chrono again, catching out the Alchemist, immediately turning to a breath. But Saxer is there with the lift to try and throw him out. Can they save mid one though? That is a question. He does have himself a Manta when he gets out of his sleep. Can he get himself away? The Manta pops, disjoints the impetus, and does get himself away. So No Tail will be the only one to die here. He's going to buy back though in a desperate attempt to try and make this defense work for them. They want to save. Meanwhile, the backline Thompson finds a cheeky little sniping play. Can he get himself away though? Well, he steals that Void Form, but skewered back into the arms of Epileptic Kid, who happily bashes away at Thompson, taking him down. Another kill for the side of Virtus.Pro. He does get the kill onto GPK on the backlines Thompson, but will also pay with his life.
Well, that was a very interesting fight. Seb realizing that he needs to be the one to start the engagement, immediately blinks in, puts his body on the line. And this Aghanim's from Kunka. Oh man, I just realized he actually finished this item. I'm not a huge fan of this item. Every time I see it in play, it just doesn't seem like it does anything at all. And in that last engagement, I don't think it actually hit anyone either when he dropped that spell. Torrent Storm. Oof.
Yeah, well, OG kind of just saw it and they were like, oh, okay, we'll just wait here until that one's over. And actually kind of enabled Thompson to make the long wraparound play to then get skill into GPK, so yeah, a bit awkward.
I think Epileptic Kid also made a minor mistake in that last engagement. He left the Chen alive with like, I think 50 HP or something. And he does have that Divine Favor aura on top of the Alchemist with his ulti on. So that could have been the deciding factor if like Alch dies or not, because you get that healing amplification, right? From your items, your ultimate, and such. So you got to make sure that Chen dies in the fights, pretty much. Even though that was a very nice chrono drop by him.
Yeah, so it's a shame. He kind of was like, oh, my team will finish him up, but he was on the high ground here, and his team were on like the low ground down here. So with the chrono being at this point, he couldn't actually do so he just had to drop everything onto the land, onto the other instead. A little bit awkward, but still getting away with it. DM. He's being controlled up good and proper here. Two Sentinels just chain locking him down. He's going to lose his life. A little bit clumsy there. Another Torrent Storm, just, I don't know, cosmetic Torrent Storm feel like at this point.
It's very awkward, these Torrent Storms. I just wish he bought like a halberd or something and use it on the Morphling. It is a range hero. Stopping him from attacking for 5 seconds is a pretty big deal as well. And that last engagement, DM just tried to blink in, make a skewer play, but got caught out instead. So he's going to be dead. And this is going to give OG a lot of map control now. Because you can see how BP Prodigy are playing it out. They don't got that Aegis any longer. Roshan may start spawning in 2 minutes. OG controlling top and mid air of the map is going to be so big for them. This Aegis is exactly what they need to be able to take fights, because if you have an Aegis, you get chronoed or RP, that's okay. You're always going to want to make your opponent use their big spells when you have the Aegis. So. And Cheese, that's also going to be very good for them too.
Well, let's see how the next few minutes play out with these with this next Roshan being the critical objective, really. And OG feels like they're back in the driving seat somewhat. I mean, they've always been in control of this map. It feels like Virtus.Pro, they're kings of the team fight, but OG is king of the map. Meanwhile, Enchanted high ground as Void jumps in, doesn't land the chrono though, as he doesn't really want to, and is now getting controlled up by the Chen. Very annoying, this guy, but with this Satanic, he's not taking much damage quite yet. Jump forward, now jumping the chrono sphere onto the Chen and the Alchemist. Once again, the same usual suspect trapped inside that chrono. Will even drop the RP to make sure they bring him on down. They'll look across the No Tail as well. He's going to put the hand of God, but will most certainly get taken out. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, they're looking over towards Thompson, who of course has jumped himself into the middle of the fight, but unfortunately this time can't bring down the Titan and will run himself away. So a very awkward fight there from OG. Again, these chronos, you know, as I said, kings of the team fight Virtus.Pro. They are not going to go down easy.
I don't know what you do when the spells of BP Prodigy are up and all 5 of them are like connected together, right? They get that word on the high ground, they see everything, they drop the chrono on the Alch. Doesn't matter how much healing the Chen throws out or if the Alchemist has Chemical Rage on, he's just gonna die.
Yeah.
It's just way too much damage on this.
Let's be real, right? That wasn't a great RP, you know? The guy was still Chronosphere. I'm pretty sure he still died inside Chronosphere. But the fact that they can just waste their RP near enough on this Alchemist, you know, the DPS RP. It's kind of just showing how good these team fights are looking for Virtus.Pro right now. I guess it all depends on what OG can do now once these cooldowns are down. Because, you know, Roche isn't up just yet. May respawn in 13 seconds. Both teams will know this. So it's really about what OG are going to get done on the map at this point. And I mean, it's just a crazy game when we're at 17-4 on the scoreline, yet OG is still feeling like they're the ones going to be in control for the next minute or so. Crazy game.
Roshan is going to be everything now. Maybe that was a tactical play from OG, you know? They wanted them to use the chrono. You know, Roshan's up when they're alive, and then they go get Aegis and cheese. Because if they get this Aegis and cheese, like nothing else is going to matter for OG. That they really need it.
Some galaxy brain shit, but I think he might be right. I mean,
Nah.
now they jump forward. Seb just jumping into his faces right now. I mean, this is just a complete change in tempo from earlier. It really is cat and mouse, but a game of cat and mouse where the cat changes positions every time, every couple of minutes. So into the roast pit we go. OG, yeah, there you go.
Didi from Thompson too. A lot of love.
There you go.
But the Elder Titan is going to be so hard.
They find themselves a conquer, lift up from Saxa, finding the pick off here. Look at the damage they're doing as well. The Ethereal Blade though, it's actually going to push them off. The LP comes down, look it down. The Alchemist could be in some real trouble. You can get away from that Electric, it might be okay. Meanwhile, Toxin being locked down to backlines, has to try and play around this one, but he is going to get dropped. Midwatch throwing his face into the mix right now. But even without their ultimates, they're still fine. Virtus.Pro take the fight easily. The only hero they nearly dropped is GPK, but he manages to just about survive through it. And Virtus.Pro can down with eating Roshan. Man, I mean, GG. Oh, okay. Well,
that's it.
All right, I guess that's it. I mean,
they need it. They need their Aegis.
Yeah,
they couldn't do anything without it.
Wow, that was abrupt. Okay,
yeah,
well, let's collect our thoughts, Stephen. I mean, what exactly? Why did they choose to GG out then? Because it didn't look like the game was super over.
Right. Well, they needed Aegis. They needed that Aegis no matter what. That's the only way they can continue to play the game, or it was actually their win condition. So they couldn't get that. And the moment they jumped to Kunkka, he had Shivas. Then the enemy also has a Scotty, and he has Spirit Vessel. Once they couldn't kill him, he cast all those spells. The healing is all gone, and there was nothing OG can do anymore. And now they're gonna have to fight against a Void with an Aegis and a Kunkka with the cheese. They just don't got the damage to be able to fight into VP Prodigy.
Fair enough. With all those cooldowns back as well, it was just looking like a possible climb for OG, so they do decide to call it there. Very out of character for OG, though, I'd say, as they are usually the ones to play down to the very last minute. But there we go. Game number 1 will go the way of Virtus.Pro. This series yet to conclude. Stick around as we get into game number 2, but we are going to throw it to a short break, and then we're going to be back with match number 2 of OG versus Virtus.Pro here at the Epic League Division 1.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.
cripple both cores of OG, and they had Holy Trinity of the items when you're playing against any kind of region heroes. So they had Spirit Vessel, they had Eye of Scotty, and they had Shiva's Guard queued up on Kanka at one moment. I'm not sure if he even finished that, but yeah, OG tried to play Dota when there was Chronosphere on cooldown. Try to go for like tier 3 tower. They had only 2 kills in. I didn't feel like OG was playing Dota. I think they were just, hitting creeps, not caring too much about team fights. They just wanted to kind of end the game, and they did it in a style called out GG, premature GG called by OG. I would say definitely not what I expect from them.
Yeah, I think that game was actually like a little bit harder than it looked. I think Virtus.Pro made it look really easy because the chronos were good.
Yeah.
If you mess up a couple of those chronos, that game would have gone very poorly. But like that game-winning chrono, when I felt like it was totally over, was when they got that like deep chrono on the dire side. Right when 1437 was talking about how like they can't lose a fight on their side of the map, because if they do, they are going to lose all their buildings, which was very true. So they had these really deep wards by the base that spotted the couriers going to where OG was, and that's why he just like YOLO dove in there for that chrono. And then it was just like, oh, okay, this game's over now.
Yeah, right? It was a sick 2-man RP by DM, which pulled them into the Chronosphere. But the way Faceless Void itemized, going Mask of Madness, Manta style Scotty, and then disassembling Mask of Madness, getting a full Satanic. Even without Chronosphere, he can still fight. Like at that point, if he messed up Chronospheres between like 15 to 25 minute mark, it would be a problem. But at the later stages of the game, considering how farmed he was, they don't rely on the Chronosphere to win a team fight.
Yeah, it seemed like the target selection from Virtus.Pro was on point also. Like every big 5v5 fight, you'd see Alchemist and Morphling die in pretty quick succession with each other. Like they knew the big targets, they found them, they killed them, and that was part of that secret to success. Is the silencer enough of a combo breaker here? Confidence in terms of silencer being the counter to what we saw in game 1?
Possibly. I personally love to play a lot of position 3 silencer. I think it's a very viable pick. Knowing OG, they might do it. It could be a mid silencer. This is a hero that really scales, and I think it suits their playstyle, where they're just going to run at people, keep fighting all the time. Even though he has a long cooldown ulti, he can still join a team fights, and the damage coming out from silencer should not be underestimated. But it's a good combo breaker. First, like 30 minutes until people start to get Manta Styles, BKB, Lotus Orbs, then he starts to fall off.
And Dark Willow. Okay, saw this banned last game. Now picked up for OG after banning out Viper Kunkka.
Yeah. Still a little bit of mystery here, right? Between their players and these heroes. So nothing completely set in stone.
But Willow Treant, that sounds like a pretty good lane combo and also just a synergistic duo throughout the mid game for team fights. And VP looking pretty similar to last game. Magnus, Void, Enchantress. I recognize these heroes.
Yeah, I was doing my job, watching the game, being there during the pick phase, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. For the other team, Dark Willow and Silencer, these are great heroes against the Faceless Void, great disengagement against the Chronosphere, and this looks like a position 2 Silencer to me.
Yeah. I wonder if the Mars was kind of tempting, but it's just like, with the Magnus and the Void, like it's too much AoE, so it makes Mars' game kind of weird, I guess, with the Arena, so they went with the Sand King instead.
Well, I do like this from Virtus.Pro, though. Both games now they're choosing to pair this Faceless Void with somebody that has a lot of synergy. Last game, it was really the Elder Titan, I think, and some of the Kunkka. Now, Invoker with the Void will have that Sunstrike combo. Cataclysm, also quite big. And
I kind of hope it's the Alacrity and the Solar Crest, too.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, Alacrity Solar Crest. Buff up that Void even more.
With the Glimmer Cape build on the Invokers. I've been liking that a lot from the mid-Invokers lately on the Quaswex.
That sounds sick.
Yeah,
I'll say something a bit different here. It could possibly be a very good, I'm going to rush Lotus Orb on Invoker. Like, this is the best item Virtus.Pro can get on their team against the Sand King stun, against Dark Willow. Dark Willow doesn't get to play Dota against the Lotus Orb. Same goes for Silencer, Entry, and Protector. They're going to need multiple of those. Easy to dispel things. A lot more stuns control coming out from OG in this time. So Faceless Void will need to be more careful, especially against the Silencer. 2 root mechanics. against him and Magnus, so they can't move. Also, Silencer, extremely good hero against the Faceless Void with the Arcane Curse, so if you use a Time Walk, it's gonna proc multiple times, so you need to be very careful about it.
It feels like they're missing just like a little bit of damage on OG, right? Like if they don't have the Bedlam going until Silencer actually like gets into that bigger stacks and everything, it feels like they still need a pretty heavy hitter at the end here.
Elder Titan banned out this time by OGs. They think about the final ban, and it's Skywrath Mage, so afraid of a little more magic damage and a snap pick from VP. It's the Phoenix, so they're going with a kind of double bubble strat here, even more team fight.
Such a great Phoenix game. They don't have an egg hitter. Like, none of these heroes can get close and actually hit the egg. It's going to be a huge problem for them.
Silencer does get some attack speed eventually, right? He's like, he's okay.
Yeah, but Silencer's not going to stand his ground in front of the egg and try to hit it while there's Invoker, Faceless Void, and Mag. They have very nice ways of protecting the egg with these heroes.
All right, so last pick Snapfire. Is that what you're calling here, Lacoste? We're going to little shredder this egg?
I think she got banned first phase, so that might be her. Well, he's definitely not hitting the egg, that's for sure.
Yeah, not your egg hitter.
They needed nuke, though. They got the nuke damage.
Yeah, so, and Thompson takes the Tiny, which means mid one will be on the Silencer. And Seb picks up the Sand King. Well, again, boys, predictions here. What are we thinking? Lacoste, 2-0? Anyway, we're going to a third game.
Yeah,
you said at the beginning.
Call this a 2-0, where I don't think they have enough pressure. It's a very fast lineup from OG, but this is a type of lineup that just relies on kills. Like, how are you going to deal tower damage? Tiny does some, but I'm a bit afraid they don't have enough. It's like, we want to constantly fight. We have Tiny, we have Silencer, Dark Willow, but it just seems very one-dimensional to me.
To look at another way, though, they have very long cooldowns as well on Virtus.Pro. Like, they just played super well. So I am still kind of leaning towards them because this lineup's, like, so standard. But, you know, if they can punish the Chronos, the RPs, the eggs, now, mind you, there's a good chance at least one of those spells will probably be up, assuming they're not. They probably don't even need all three of those big ultimates to 5-man wipe you if the fight starts out poorly for OG. So, yeah, I'm favoring the 2-0 as well. But OG, like, this has to be one of those crazy Team Secret style games where they're just like diving towers at like 8-9 minutes and just obliterating the early game.
All right, we'll see if they can do it. Once again, we've got Nomad and 1437. Boys, it's your turn.
Howdy, thank you very much indeed. Yeah, we're getting into this second game, and it's kind of like a complete U-turn for OG, starting with a ton of aggression, and then kind of compared to the last game where they just had like loads of greed. I mean, this team kind of definitely shaking things up, Theben.
They definitely have shaken things up, but I don't know if this is in the right direction. I feel like they needed to find like the middle ground there. Right now, I feel like if this game goes to the mid, late game, Invoker gets Aghanims, every Chrono, OG's just dead. They have no saves in their lineup. They don't have this super hard carry. They have a Silencer carry. He can't protect himself. He can't get away from much. So OG, they've really put all the pressure on themselves. They got to dominate the first 10, 15 to 20 minutes, like really, really hard. Get every possible Roshan. And the problem is they don't even have Roshan damage on OG's side.
No, you're right. They don't. I mean, they are really relying on their team fight ability, and they want to roll this game. That's what I'm picking up here. That's what I'm sensing. They just want to roll this game, and they want to find their momentum. They want to fight, and then they just don't want to stop fighting. I mean, this very much feels like OG. So after last game, they were just like, we can't fight. It's so boring. We just want to kill each other. All right, let's just go for a draft which only does that. That's the approach here in game number 2. As VP moving into the enemy side of the map with the smoke. Will they find anything here? Doesn't look like. I mean, currently OG are huddled under their tower, but we'll see if there is any action to take place. One thing I do like is they've got a lot of answers to this void outside of Chronos. Obviously, Chronos gets hold on. There's a little bit of a kerfuffle taking place. They jump forwards onto mid one. Oh, dear me, there's a lot of damage coming through onto the Silencer. Can they finish him off, though? Doesn't look like they can. DM really wants it, but he might have gone a bit too far from him, as the rest of the team are not really that committed to getting this kill onto the Silencer. And now OG looking to maybe turn around with some hits. A little bit of a kerfuffle results in not much, really. Just a lot of damage taken from poor old mid one. And the Silencer and the Phoenix also dropping and the Magnus getting a little bit low there. But nobody falling. No first blood just yet. Just a little bit of patty cake being played. As OG now takes up the bounty. Oh, it does result in 3 runes for OG.
I have seen.
It's
like a top tower where 4 heroes on both sides are. I don't even know how they ended up getting there, but yeah, it looks like just 3 runes for OG gonna be a nice start for them. They're gonna need things like that. They're gonna need to get all the bounty runes, every small advantage they possibly can get. And I feel like Saksa, he's gonna have to go off this game alongside with Thompson and just keep on solo killing people essentially.
More or less, yeah, more or less. Well, Seb heading down to this bottom lane. He's going to be playing on the Sand King along with Saxa, and Flex Kid and Ilias are going to be the responses there. But yeah, I did just want to mention, tap briefly on the fact that I like some of their answers to the Faceless Void, because they have got all of these routes available from both the Tree and the Dark Willow, and this is going to allow them to possibly get easier kills on the Faceless Void than last game, because obviously that's going to stop him being able to get off the Time Walks. When his last game, their idea was to kind of throw the Time Dilation back in his face, which kind of worked until the late game. He gets out Satanic and he kind of just kicked off anyway. So again, though, you know, these Chronosphere answers are not really there, and again, they don't have any egg hitters as such either. I mean, do you envision them having some big egg problems in this game?
Oh yeah, definitely egg problems. They're gonna have problems with the bottom though. Faceless Void. Woo!
Wow. Okay, well,
that's a good start.
There's the first example of that route not being available. The Time Walk not being available because of the route.
So, egg is going to be a problem. Invoker with Aghanims, I think that's going to be the biggest problem, because they're going to have RP and the Chronosphere that's going to be able to blow heroes up with the Cataclysm in this game. So, I'm looking out for GPK here. This is going to be his show, I think, in this game, especially if they're going to be focusing the Faceless Void.
Yeah, and he could really use a confidence boost after last game. You know, it was a pretty rough showing from him, uncharacteristically having a pretty rough time. The lane didn't quite go how he wanted. After the first 5 minutes, he was dominating, but then he let his lead slip, and he was really feeling a little bit unimpactful throughout the game. But, Seb down to the bottom lane, going onto the Faceless Void. Do they have the damage to bring him down? They don't, and the Faceless Void will be able to time walk himself away. So this time the trade goes in the other direction, and OG are the ones who lose their hero.
Get Sal back up. Epileptic Kid, it's as if nothing has happened to him in this lane. He even have to use his own regen. Everything is back to normal now. Down in this lane.
It is. Balance has been resumed. So they do get the first blood gold on the side of OG, so maybe a little bit richer for them.
How's the Silencer lane looking?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to ask. How is the Silencer lane doing? Well, so far so good. He's got himself a ton of last hits. Once again, save. Just trying to mess with the creeps as much as possible. But Midone's actually taking Tame out of the lane to chase his Phoenix with Icarus Dive. So don't know about that one, Chief, but nevertheless, he will return to this lane. But how do you think the Silencer is going to do in the mid-game here? Because carry Silencer isn't something we're used to seeing.
Yeah, he's got a snowball, right? He's got to get a lot of items like Power Treads, Hurricane Pike, Mobility, just be able to go in and out of engagements, maybe even a Blink Dagger, so he can dodge some Time Walk Chronospheres. I think that's the only way that he's going to be able to save himself, pretty much. So he's off to a good start. He's got good last hits, but I don't think this Magnus is pressured at all at the moment. He's got like 2 range creeps in front of him. The wave is in front of the tower. So he's quite happy, I must say. And DM, man, I can't believe they're giving DM Magnus. Like, this man is just an absolute beast with this hero. And he always somehow manages to not get punished in the offlane.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following DM quite closely since his days. I think he started out in just a bunch of different CIS stacks. When you're talking about CIS players, it's always a safe bet to assume they've been in Team Empire at some point, but he was in Aachen City Esports Club with Funnick and some German players, and then it got picked up. I mean, he's always been a very standout player, though, in my eyes, and it's fun to see him playing with his VP stack, where he's really being enabled by this team. Plays a terrifying Magnus, and yeah, if you guys are interested, his Sand King as well is also something to be feared. Another one of his standout heroes for sure. But, you know, 2 mag performances is not something I'm going to be upset about from this guy.
And this Mag Void just feels like such a strong, like, impossible to deal with combo. You got this Chronosphere, you know, the enemy carry is always going to be pressured by that, and then the Void just farms insanely quickly as well. Bottom though, Saksa and Ilias getting quite low.
Oh, he actually gets finished off. The 2 points in Shadow Realm are enough to finish the job. Down goes Ilias.
Looked really smooth getting that kill on the Enchantress. It's gonna be nice. They're gonna need to keep getting these small kills like this. Thompson is gonna be rotating a lot though this game compared to last game on his Morphling. He just kind of just sat middle. He can't really rotate with a hero like Morph, but Tiny though. Here we go, bottom, Epileptic Kid. So I'm level 4, Thompson's 5. This is a very early rotation.
Huge, yeah. Let's see if they can make anything happen from this one as they go down the route. The avalanche toss, my goodness, he just disappears. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, they get him. Wow.
Completely unexpected from Epileptic Kid. No, there's no other mid player that rotates at 5 minutes. Like, it just doesn't happen. Normally, they might rotate at 6 minutes with a power rune, but at 5 minutes with a bounty like that, it's just level 5. And the main reason because GPK just got like 2 free waves from all of that, right? So generally, you don't want to give the enemy mid that much free farm.
Just Thompson things. Having some fun with it. Playing around. But yeah, GPK will be the
power rune. Big engagement out of power runes here.
I didn't manage to get to the arcane in time. Yeah, Save and the Invoker both getting on top of him, forcing him back and giving that arcane rune to GPK. Never fun to play into this arcane rune, that's for sure.
Yeah, GPK is just having an absolute blast now. I think he's gonna keep on getting free farm this lane. He went for the Quasp Wex build. This is what we normally see with Void. Like, you want to be able to fight early on. You have a Magnus on your lineup, so you don't want to go Exor and be a burden to your team as well. But then later on, you're going to start scaling into your Exor when you have your Ags ready. You're going to have like that perfect build already to be able to blow people up Cataclysm.
One of my favorite combos as well when you're playing with Silencer into Phoenix is dropping the global silence as he tries to Icarus dive away, so he can't cancel the Icarus dive, and he just comes sweeping straight back into where he was. I mean, I hope
exactly.
That's one of my favorite interactions.
There's also a point I was gonna make. Actually, Seb just kind of dive bottoms. GPK TP'd in to that creep skipping offlaner.
There you go, a rotation in from the Invoker. I mean, he is Quaswex, so it is to be expected, but yeah, again, helping out the Faceless Void in this bottom wave as he makes his way back towards mid and saved.
And those are
whilst he's away.
Those are very clean rotations, right? Because you're just using your TP, you know it's a guaranteed kill, so you just kill him and instantly go back to the mid lane. There was literally like no risk for GPK at all for that play, so very nicely done. And what I was gonna say was, yeah, it's very rare that you see people pick Phoenix into the Silencer just because of, you know, the global effect, but also last word. If you last word Phoenix when you're going on him, he cannot dive out because he'll just come right back because he gets instantly silenced and he's not gonna be able to end his dive pretty much.
Yeah, that's the problem is Natus just causing so many problems for Save here. He's being so annoying, just interrupting their stacks and being just generally being an OG player. Really?
Yep.
Tops him with the Invis rune. Doesn't have much mana though, so no combo potential until he gets a couple of bold charges in. But could look for a cheeky toss play. No, he's just gonna pop it. He wants the mana more than he wants the. Oh,
he wants a 3-stack here. Take it away from the enemy. Very good play. If the enemy has a lot of creep stacks, you should definitely go and get it. It's like the same thing as stealing away your opponent's bounty rune, pretty much.
Meanwhile, DM, he's in pretty deep here. His mid one and Saxa get on top of him and should be able to secure this kill onto the Magnus, just making sure they find it with the Bramble Maze, and he won't be able to navigate it successfully as he does lose his life. So, yeah, it's laning phase, making some really nice plays on the side of OG to bring themselves ahead, and this is what they need to do. They really do. Another thing about that stack, by the way, is it's another reason it's really good to take it at this point, especially, is because it stops the enemy finding all their neutral items through one stack, which I think is actually quite a really hard. Jumping forward onto the Phoenix. My goodness, that's a lot of damage coming out from Sotson. Can he finish the job? No, he can't. The Fire Spirits and Tiny's abysmal attack speed causing difficulty to either drop down the Chronosphere to try and bring down this Tiny with 4 heroes surrounding him. Thompson will return to the gravel. See you later, Tiny, as he gets taken down in the mid lane at a bit of an overextension. Could you call this space? I'm not sure.
I don't think I can. I think that was a very nice kill from Epileptic Kid. He really didn't want to stay in the bottom lane any longer. He would be farming much slower. He wants to move closer to the Magnus and just start farming jungle creep. So I think Thompson just kind of gave him a reason to do so. It was a good try though to try to get the Phoenix, but it was very unfortunate he was not able to complete the kill.
Yeah, wasn't able to make anything of it. And now, well, once again, more poking and prodding coming out from the side of OG as they're looking towards GPK and Save, just chasing them out in this triangle. Man, they really want to just take over this safe area
Yeah,
of the map.
this is
They
so
really
good.
don't want them there.
They gotta do this, right? They can't let the Magnus and Faces Void just set up shop here and just start farming away. They got nice sentries, or they should start planting some sentries in here so that VP can't take the area back with some vision. Mid one actually went for Midas this game. Okay. I don't know when the last time I saw like a carry go Midas and actually win games. It might have been like a Void or something in a completely free game, but other than that, it's just not an item anymore. Hand of Midas.
Really? Why is that?
It's too
Nothing's changed
expensive.
about the item.
Well, it's way too expensive, and it doesn't give you any stats, right? So you're not tankier or anything like that. It just kind of helps you deal damage and farm a little bit faster. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you like if the attack speed on Silencer with the glaive, so that aspect of it's kind of nice, but I don't rate it. Meanwhile, Supernova's going to get dropped here actually as they jump forward onto Topson. Tiny trying to get himself away. The Impetus is doing a decent amount of damage, but Ilias, he's got to be careful. The Avatos comes out, and that is one dead little deer stuck in the headlights as OG get the strike and move themselves away. But of course, they're not moving away from this triangle. Oh no, this is the OG area of the map, and they are making sure that Virtus.Pro know about that, and they are not going to be playing in this area for much longer.
Yeah. Seb is also up here. They really want to take this top tier 1 tower so they can just start sitting in the triangle. This is very different, right? Compared to all the other games that you normally watch. Most of the time, teams are trading tier 1 towers, top and bottom. But OG, they want the top tower. They know this is like the protector of the triangle. So get rid of it, take over the enemy triangle. But VP Prodigy, VP already have Epileptic Kid in the bottom triangle instead, farming away over there with the Empower.
Yeah, and DM as well, as much as I love his Magnus, it doesn't do that much this early on in the game, it just doesn't have the way into the fights, especially when you're looking at the heroes on the side of OG, you can't just walk into this fight and land an RP, you're going to have to get the blink. He wants to make the forehand, of course, wants to have the item chance. Actually, Sax is just going for the solo kill hill, getting in front of him to make sure he gets dragged back, and he's going to be able to do it. Oh my goodness, the solo kill from Saxa. Playing it out here, but now the Chronosphere gets struck down. Epileptic Kid with another fantastic Chrono does get caught in the Bramble Maze, which might stop him being able to finish off mid one here. Gets the fast. Fear comes down though, saves him. Saxa making the plays. Will give his life for it, but saves mid one in the process. Totally worth it. Wow. What plays coming out from this Dark Willow down in the bottom lane? Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, this is exactly what we said. Saxa is going to have to go ham and start solo killing people at some point in this game. They want to win this, but Epileptic Kid making a mistake just like last game. He should have finished off that Dark Willow before he went for the Silencer, because Saxa managed to get his stick off and get that fear and get Silencer out of there. I think if they killed the Dark Willow first and together with the Invoker they went for mid one, he would have died.
Yeah, but that fear was able to come through because he went for the bigger target. He's a greedy boy, this Epileptic Kid. He really is. And now, well, Supernova just going to be jumped onto the Silencer's face. He drops down the ultimate, but can't fight into this because of the cold snap, so he can't bring down the Supernova. That is a wasted global silence. And No-Tail might be going down here as well. Pops his ultimate as well. OG just throwing everything at this worthless fight. And they're going to end up losing both the heroes all the same. Topson, he's looking for the cheeky play on to save here. Avatos combo, it's not quite enough to finish the job, but with the tree throw it will be. GPK looking for a bit of revenge. Not sure we'll be able to find it though. With Ilias here, they do have a decent amount of damage. Topson just trying to keep close to the impetuses, and now, Seb tries to come in with the stun, but gets blasted back by the deafening blast, and unfortunately cannot help out his teammate. A bit of feeding going on from OG.
Oh, that defense on the bottom tower, it was just so nice. And meanwhile, Epileptic Kid is just able to farm on the entire time. Saxa though, he's trying to be annoying. He's blocking the ancient camp with his body.
DM goes down at bottom. Epileptic Kid, he's getting frustrated here, popping that Mask of Madness, and Willow's just like, oh, yeah, okay. Oh, even trying to find the courier. My goodness. I mean, Epileptic Kid's wasting so much time trying to chase this little fairy, and she's just taunting him. Maybe they can get the kill with GPK coming over. Another Shadow Realm being popped here. Has the fear, but unfortunately has no mana anymore, so surely this is the end of Sax there. He's performed admirably, but will eventually fall.
Epileptic Kid, he wasn't going to just keep on hitting creeps. He was going to chase that Dark Willow down, knowing that GPK is coming in hot with that haste rune. And now they're going to probably have to trade towers here. But mid is already dead though. Mid one does not have a TP available to be able to come on top, so Seb is just going to use Sandstorm, sit on the corner of it, and be able to blink out if VP actually commit to the tower.
Yeah, VP aren't interested though. They're just happy to get their triangle back. Their beloved triangle.
Oh, smoke though. Interesting. Chrono is up, but I
but
think
he's
he
really
wants to
broken.
keep on farming.
He does. I think that's probably the right call. I think bringing 4 heroes to this movement might be questionable. I don't know, we'll see how it works out. It's all about efficiency though when you're trying to make these plays into games which are as high pace as this, you know, if you can bring less heroes to kill.
OG also smoking.
Feel quite nice. Ooh, they are.
They got global available
Ooh,
too.
They do.
And they got two blinks too. Sanking and Tiny both got blink. This is OG online right here.
And they found DM. Great target to find. Global Silence going to be popped to make sure he can't pop any RP shenanigans and just dropping down the ultimates onto him, bring down that Magnus and find the clean kill. And this is a huge kill as well because it's so deep into the enemy side of the map that now once again they're losing ground, they're losing space to farm in. It's very costly for Virtus.Pro to lose this, but they are looking for a counterplay here, I think. A lot of heroes huddled up in the trees together, getting snuggly as they see No Tail. Got down the cold snap with the sun ray. That's a lot of damage onto poor old No Tail. He is going to lose his life. Try to go for the ultimate again. Loves throwing down a couple of these fat R's.
And here they're gonna rotate back towards the mid lane. They know VP is stuck around the bottom area of the map. They're walking through the vision as well, VP here. So they might actually take a fight with Topson's Blink Dagger.
Yeah, Midwind's not
Seb
afraid though.
in the
He's
back.
just sticking himself in the middle. This is why, because Seb's coming for the backstab play. Doesn't quite have the backup just yet. Topson comes in though, but they do manage to get off the supernova. Mid one, he's looking over towards the egg. Can they finish the off in time? Yes, they can. RP's not enough to save it. The egg falls. Elias doing a decent amount of damage to Topson, but now with actually Saxa coming in, they can just drop the Enchantress in a flash. And that is going to be 2 big kills on both the supports going down, and Virtus.Pro can no longer defend this middle tower, at least for the time being.
Very good fight again for OG. These Blink Daggers, they're starting to really shine right now for Sanking and the Tiny. Epileptic Kid gonna get kicked out of the jungle
big target,
bottom now.
Big target,
So is he
stun comes out. Topson comes in as well. He doesn't get off the time walk in time, finally throws it out. It looks like he's going to fight, although Topson's not done yet. They're just going to drop the chrono straight onto Topson's face, so punish the overextension of the tier 2, and they'll be able to take him down. That is pretty costly there from Mr. Topson.
Oh, that is so costly. Such a big kill too. I feel like the kid had like a sliver of HP there.
Being trapped really nicely by Saber. Tornado as well. Did they find a kill? Oh my goodness, that was sick. But now they jump into the front lines here. OG actually committing to this one, 3 onto 5. This can't work out well. Mid one's going to lose his life. GPK looking onto No Tail. I don't understand why they're throwing bodies at this fight. They're really adding fuel to the fire. And another log gets burnt up as No Tail trying to work his way through the tree lines here. Needs to get to the safety of those precious woods, but I don't think he's going to find it. And then even the Sunstrikes finish it off. No, never mind. Elias will take it with an impetus. But it's going to be 4 heroes killed off over the space of a minute from OG as they start hemorrhaging down here at bottom. Okay. Yeah, he gets the cheeky one.
Yeah, while GPK was chasing Seb over there, OG actually went onto the Faceless Void with the Overgrowth, and that's why they got stuck. They weren't really throwing their bodies, but they couldn't retreat any longer, right? The heroes are very slow, so while they're retreating, everybody would just get massacred anyway, so they try to stand their ground and fight and maybe get more traits that's favorable to them, but they just couldn't. Invoker just dealing way too much damage alongside the Magnus there. Alacrity Invoker is starting to kick in.
The obnoxiousness from OG here, though. You know, we just lost 4 heroes. Do we care? No. We're still diving in tier 2s. Topson, he's like, yeah, you don't have Chronosphere. We know your game. Saxon could get jumped here, though, once again, with that Sunray, with this Cold Snap combination, and now DM's going to come in and finish the job with a skewer and a right click. Down goes poor little Saxa. This is a bit too much. Oh, that's going for the ultimate here. They might be able to do it. Global Science comes in as well. They're trying to bring down the Faceless Void. Did they have the best potential to do so? Doesn't look like it. And actually, they just turn around and straight up murder Seb. Okay, this isn't how this was meant to go. Topson as well, in some trouble. He's going to get finished off. And the rest of OG can but leave as mid one goes to the TP away and will get out safely.
I hate to say it, Nomad, but this is looking a lot like OG running out of gas now. I think not being able to kill that Faceless Void with a committal of Epicenter and Global Silence and trying to throw all their heroes at him is that's a very bad sign. And right now, VP, they feel extremely comfortable to just get out on the map, push out the lanes aggressively, maybe even push towers if they want to, because the big skills on OG are on cooldown. The mech, it was like the mech plus the magic wand just made it enough for the Void not to even be close to dying.
he was
They
absolutely
also got
fine there, I
the
mean.
they also got the Sunray too, right? They can just throw on to whoever gets jumped later.
Yeah, I mean, Sax has been feeling quite invincible because he can jump into the fight, pop the Shadow Realm, and then, in theory, be immune from damage. But with the Cold Snap on him and the Sunray as well, that's definitely proving not the case.
This game,
this high tempo from OG is really kind of coming back to bite them here.
ooh, Manta completed now on the Void 2. That's gonna be able to dispel the sounds or the overgrowth, and he doesn't even need to buy damage items in the game. He's got Magnus and Power, then he's also got Alacrity that's gonna be thrown on top of him. So as long as he just keeps on buying items that keeps him alive, the damage output will just come so naturally from the spells of VP.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Yeah, it's safe to say they've failed to really shut down this Void. He's still doing very well in net worth, got himself the items he needs to be a factor.
Another smoke.
It's all about how they control him in the fight as Thompson jumps in once again, immediately going in for the Faceless Void. Faceless Void's absolutely fine though, and they'll drop the Supernova down as well. I played the kid baiting down the Chrono. Realizes he didn't even need to use it because Thompson's out of mana. All he can do is try and run himself away. Now they see him and now they can take it down. Meanwhile, the backlines, No-Tail gets killed off by Ilias, but Thompson's the one who's going to get finished off by Electric Kid. Meanwhile, they'll chase down Saxa, save on the run. Seb's going to come in with the stun though, and actually the Sunstrike's going to miss because he's going back in. Saxa doesn't have a care in the world, but he is going to get finished off by Save, just due to the flames, it seems. Meanwhile, Seb trying to play around here. They know where he is. They've got the dust. Bow Strike up the high ground. Epileptic Kid will follow though, and this is going to be another kill going their way. And now it's going to be 4 down on the side of OG. Man, Virtus.Pro. Is there any stopping them at this point? I'm not too sure.
I mean, this is what we talked about, 20 minutes. That's what OG had. The only goalie they were able to build up, it was about 3k, I want to say, before they started running out of steam. So that's what it looks like right now. They're going to take the tier 1 tower. This is the first tower going away of VP. And if they feel really frisky, or I don't know what the right word is, but they can just go for Roshan.
I like that word. I like frisky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get frisky. Go visit Roshan. Spend the night.
Exactly. I think that's that could be a really nice play from them too. They got so much damage output right now, and just picked up a People's Gift on the Void 2. More HP. You saw what happened in that last engagement. The Tiny went in, Avalanche toss combo onto the Void. He just clicked his Time Walk, full healed, pop Time Dilation, and then this Tiny just was like, all right, I guess I'll die now.
Where was
He
the
can't do
global
anything
silence?
with
I really feel like OG were waiting for the global silence there. Like, there's no way Thompson makes that play unless he's expecting that to stop the Supernova, to stop the Time Walk. I feel like
He's got Manta, right?
Maybe.
So the dilation, the global
true.
won't even matter at that point. Just pops Manta dilation, then boom, the Tiny is just walking stone essentially.
All right, give me some good news for the OG fans out there. You know, they're feeling pretty glum. Game 1 was a bit of a wash. Game number 2 not looking too great either. What can they do to turn this one around? Is there any hope for this team?
They gotta smoke. Okay, they gotta go into a backline. Maybe pop like a Phoenix. Going on the Faceless Void is just no longer an option. He's too tanky. He's got heals from his allies. So they gotta get the support. Maybe the Phoenix or even the Invoker. Invoker would be actually probably the best kill. He's only got a Spear Vessel and he's going for a Solar Crest this game to try and boost up his Void some more first. So I think it would be a good idea to just make the smoke gank and hit on the Invoker, and maybe VP, if they try to fight it anyway, I think they're going to lose that engagement.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We expected him fully to go for an Axe this game, but he is committing to the Solar Crest, as you say, to buff up his Void. Could be a really easy pick up from the backlines, and obviously with the Global Silence, you can hopefully deal with the Supernova, but yeah.
I think he's looking at his levels at the moment and how he's scaling up. Like this Cold Snap has been very useful against the Tiny and the Dark Willow in the engagement, so he decided to level that up some more with his costs, and then after his Solar Crest, I think we'll see him either go for like a BKB or an Aghanims. We've seen right now, they don't need this Axe to even kill all these heroes anymore, right? So that's probably an item that they will decide to buy later on in the game. I thought this game would be a lot closer than it is at the moment, so the Aghanims would have been like that game-changing factor, or even in the late game, I think it's still going to be a very big thing. It's like a secret weapon, you know, BP are holding on to if it gets worse.
Yeah, they've always got that to fall back on, especially in the late game. We're certainly going to see it if this game gets to the Invoker getting to 25 for the max points and exhausts. So for now, we shall have to wait patiently. Shame. I do like casting some good old Cataclysms. They're very shiny, very fancy, but not today. We've got plenty of other ultimates though, so I certainly won't complain. The RP going to have Blink available hopefully quite soon. Did decide to go for the Guardian's Grease Vest, which makes a lot of sense when you're playing in Sansa.
I like it. I like it a lot. It makes him extremely tanky. It makes your team tanky. It's got that cloak of it.
Very cool. He does it again. Okay, now they see him. He's going to pop the ultimate. Meanwhile, Seb jumping in, trying to find the kill onto Enchantress with that ultimate. But meanwhile, the Chronosphere on the backline, dropping onto the Tiny. He can't survive it. He's gone down. Topson is out of the equation. And mid one, he's just having to run away. This is their carry. This is their big boy. And he is looking like a little baby boy indeed. As he's going to get chased out of the fight. The Seb goes down as well. And mid one just runs away with his tail between his legs. Saxa boying back into this one, actually seen by Apoplectic Kid. But they want Roshan. They want the bigger target. And this game, I mean, it really is feeling like, I mean, Virtus.Pro are just like the big chads back from the gym, and OG are just kind of children of this one. They can't seem to take this fight, but surely they could dig deep and find this magic, but oh, this is not the magic we're looking for, and even the global silence comes out as well. Oh, goodness gracious, this is a bit of a disaster, Theban. Not exactly how we expected this one to go. Well, how some people expect it to go, I guess, but yeah, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, they got the BKB on the Void, pretty much unstoppable. Alacrity and power plus Solar Crest, always going to be thrown onto the Void. He's going to have an insane amount of DPS. They're going to get Aegis now, and the lines are being drawn. All right, guys, next up, we're going to take these two towers. They can't fight us. Let them come into us, and we're just going to destroy them. I think this is what BB Prodigy are thinking. OG, they really need to get this Invoker, man. He's the big factor in all these engagements. I feel like epicentering, going for the Faceless Void is just no longer the play, or has not been the play for a while.
Yeah.
There it is. I agree with
out of mana, running out of health awfully quickly, and DM will cut him down, and they actually see mid one as well. He is able to get himself back. It's in the mix as well. I mean, it feels like we haven't seen the full engagement from OG where they jump in with the global silence and like Topson gets a free selection of targets. Again, it's been VP starting the fights, and that seems to be what they love to do when they're playing against OG in this series.
I mean, that play is like between minutes 10 and 18, right, when that really shines. And then at some point, people have like Manta or ways to heal up through that damage. So we're like well beyond that. It's just not really going to be a possibility. But we can possibly see some surprise blink epicenters on Invoker and like try to blow them up together. He doesn't really have any ways to live through that combo. But he's a one hunting man. He's 10, 0, and 14 on GPK. He's just absolutely destroying.
Yeah, now again, finding Topson in their jungle, sniffing him out and bringing him down. Topson just really unable to get the ball rolling in this one, or the boulder rolling as it may be. And 10-0, 14 Invoker, GPK.
Uh-oh, no tell, he's been found.
Oh dear, another one sniffed out here. Yeah, the crew is on. It feels like one of them has a radar and just finding out these heroes wherever they are. OG. Again, you know, if there's a comeback here, then it's going to have to be some really special OG magic, because this draft is not designed to play from behind. It's going to be tempted out by the courier. He wants the hero, but I guess it's
I always hate couriers, man. They give you more gold than the heroes. Whenever there's a courier, oh, we're slapping that. Free money. They got the Lotus now too on the Phoenix. Like, he's had it for a while. This silence or global silence is just Magnus bottom. That's the epicenter, by the way. Used up.
Yeah, they got him pretty low. Can they finish the job though? No, they cannot. They cannot at all. And now Seth, even with the Lotus Orb upon himself, will probably be falling here as well. He's got the blink to get himself away, getting back to his teammates. The Supernova's been dropped. Mid one's trying to take it down, but the Chronosphere's come down, trying to defend it, and they won't be able to finish the job. Supernova comes crashing down. They will lose tops, and they'll lose mid one as well. Another 4 kills going the way off the side of Virtus.Pro. Oh my goodness, I mean, I feel like they could probably consider calling this game soon, David. I don't want to be that negative guy, but I mean, considering how early they called last game, it's feeling like this has now reached a worse point than last game did at the point where they called GG on that one.
Well, I watched Topson with Close Snap on him try to hit the egg for like for the duration of that egg, and I just got immediately depressed, so.
Did he get one hit off on it?
No, he didn't. Okay. He has an Echo Saber too. He did not get a single hit on him. And I think, OG are probably thinking like, okay guys, one more fight. We still got our buildings alive. Let's see if we can do something. I mean, they tried to epicenter some other hero other than the Void this time, but EM is just too tanky with that Croak. So let's see what their next plan of attack is here for OG.
In the high ground, Aegis, Alacrity, Solar Crest, Epileptic Kid. Come at me is what he's saying, and well, they grab Seb, they scoop him out of the base. This crab's gonna get taken on down. Scorpion killed off, no doubt goes. The ultimate gets it off. The Mantra evenly purged. They'll try and bring down Athletic Kid, but he's got an Aegis, not even cares. I mean, they're not gonna be able to finish the job here as they will back themselves up on Virtus.Pro. They got one kill, they forced out a buyback. This is enough from them. BKB on cooldown as well from Athletic Kid, so they're looking to wait it out. Although saying that, he's still hanging out in the front. Aegis will go in 40 seconds, so got to be cognizant of that one. Oh my goodness, they just jump forward onto that poor old Dark Willow. She gets taken down. They will take the Aegis, but will they be able to actually follow up here? I highly doubt that. And DM with the skewer out of the base. No tail, singled out, taken down, and now they're looking up that high ground. Mid one though, popping that ultimate, looking for some targets here, but it immediately gets purged up by just about everybody. They'll jump up the Sansa. He gets taken on down. That is 5 heroes dead. The towers are falling, and once again, a solitary GG from No Tail as Virtus.Pro, they take the series 2-0, and man, what a performance from them. I mean, really proving that they earned this promotion to be the main squad. Virtus.Pro absolutely smashed this series. OG, well, I mean, most people have warm-up games, but OG apparently having a warm-up series, hopefully in this tournament, as that did not go how they planned. I mean, Theban, what really was the fundamental flaw in OG in this game?
I think their draft just runs out of gas way too quickly, right? VP didn't have a whole lot of pressure on them going into the late game. They had all the answers. They have the heroes to buy the right items. OG didn't even have Roshan damage. They essentially had to run at you, kill you nonstop, take objectives, shut you down, and there's never an off switch there for that, right? You have to keep doing it. So your movements become more and more predictable. VP just have to kill 1 or 2 heroes there once in a while when Chrono's up or RP's up. And then eventually they would just outscale OG. I think OG just put too much pressure on themselves in this game.
Alrighty, well, that's going to tie up the first series. We're going to hand it back to our lovely, lovely panel now to break it down further. Over to you guys.
Woohoo! Thank you, Nomad. Hopefully Lacoste comes back and joins us here. I see a black square instead of my good buddy. But Trent,
I see
how was
him.
the game? You see him?
I'm here.
Well, then what's going on with my preview? Why is he blocked out for me? All right. Well, welcome back, gentlemen. A quick series, a fast 2-0, another convincing win. The Silencer proved not to be the combo breaker that they needed.
Shocking.
You want to go first? I mean, there aren't too many things to say about this game, but go ahead. I'll adapt.
All right. Well, first off, it was just kind of similar to game one in the sense that they had a very narrow window of like what is needed for them to achieve victory. Like in game one, it had to be like the Morphling has to get so much to create so much space for the Alchemist, and then you hope things kind of all tied together for that like perfect sort of like fight on the enemy side of the map, get the win, take all their buildings, game's just over. They didn't care about kills in game one, that really that much. They like had certain conditions they were looking to meet to just take the win. Obviously, that didn't happen. Virtus.Pro takes it. Game two, they somehow went like completely opposite of just like, all right, we're just going to be so bloodthirsty and we're just going to kill them like 20 times. And that should give us what we need to win this game. But they just could not create a large enough lead to overtake like a very super standard draft for this meta. This is just like 5 straight meta heroes for Virtus.Pro that we're happy to sit back and say like, all right, well, if things are even or if we're not that far behind, like we're just going to win this eventually.
Yeah,
it's a tough one for OG. Like you're putting yourself in a very bad spot from the start. You are really on the timer. Like you need to be 10k gold late, 15 minutes in. Like you need to get so much out of the laning stage, getting all the kills, like stacking the jungle, because all this lineup is good is constant fighting, getting the kills. But, once that Chronosphere is up, there is a counterplay, the global silence, but I've been really not convinced. And I think this particular game, once again, shows that VP, they really know how to utilize the items. They know which items to get to win the game. I think this is very important. I watch a lot of Dota. I see a lot of like tier 2 teams losing the games because of the bad itemization. This is a great example where you have like 2 supports getting a casual cloak. You have multiple ways of dispelling things, a lot of root mechanics. You have Lotus Orb being built on Phoenix, which is kind of unusual, but in this particular scenario, it needs to be done. Mag going for Guardian Greaves, pretty standard stuff for him, but sometimes, he gets a Blink Dagger. He just wants to have another way of dispel. Faceless Void, talk about his itemization, getting Manta style. It was very fast. He doesn't need to get damage. He's getting buffed up by Mag, so he gets third item BKB. And there's a Solar Crest on Invoker. GPK once again proving why he's one of the best mid laners out there.
Yeah. They kept it simple in the end, right? Like nothing really that crazy. They just like looked at their opponents, said, what do they need? And correctly identified what it was that OG had to do and just stop that snowball from happening. And then they just played 2 games of Mag Void and call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, Trent, you got exactly what you wanted out of this Invoker. We saw the Quaswex primary and went for the Spirit Vessel, much needed here, but then the Solar Crest. You've got Solar Crest.
I wanted the Glimmer, though.
You've got
the Spirit Vessel was better.
They got the Glimmer on Enchantress, at least. So it's still the same idea. They had a Glimmer save him, and it opens up so much flexibility for the Void. He can go for the Manta, as Lacoste pointed out. You've got not only the damage from the Magnus, but then the attack speed from the Invoker and that Solar Crest. So much synergy across this draft. Just a beautiful execution. Brilliant Dota.
Yeah. It just looks like a team that has been following the meta very closely and just looked to kind of perfect what they have. Whereas OG, they just played a carry silencer. They are not following the meta right now. They're trying some other stuff. They're trying to OG Dota it and see how far that can take them. And so far it has not taken them to a victory, but it's not like a total disaster yet, considering it's like day 1 of a group stage. It might just be them tempering their like potential and possibilities in this meta right now.
This is what OG was always good at, just experimenting, trying new stuff, trying to break the game. I mean, that's how they won 2 TIs, by doing different things. Pretty much no one understood what they were doing and how they were doing it. And when they lose, they're gonna look like what is this? Why are you guys trying it out? Because it's not working. Yeah, it doesn't work because they lost. But they might try to do it again, make some changes to similar drafts and see how that's gonna go. But I think right now, the way Dota is played, the way meta is I would say that having Mag PA, Mag Faceless Void is a pretty simple Dota. Like, you don't have to be as good as the enemy team. If somehow you manage to get these type of heroes, you're gonna have an easier time playing Dota, executing team fights. But from what I've seen today, like Virtus.Pro, man, they're not joking around. They're not fooling around, and it's like all crispy. Like the execution, spell casting, itemization, everything's on point.
We've got an interview. Okay, sounds like we've got DM here. I don't know if he's actually on the line yet or if he's on his way. But this is exciting. All right, he's on his way, so we'll have DM momentarily. There he is. DM, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear decent.
Hello, you sound good, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, dude.
Were you guys expecting to win that series so handily going into it? Those were pretty quick games. A convincing 2-0.
To be honest, we had decent practice before tournament, and we had some really good strats that we're super confident at. And when we went into the series, we just said we're gonna pick this ones, so we were super confident.
I'll go ahead, Lacoste. Take it away, buddy.
Were you surprised that they gave you Magnus and Faceless Void in game number 2 again?
To be honest, I wasn't, because I was expecting them to reply with their Alchemist again, but they did other kind of strat. It was kinda wrong, I think.
It's a bit one-dimensional there. I don't know. I guess you guys it seemed like both games you sort of identified that OG had pretty limited ways that they could actually win, and you kind of just played around those possibilities. Like game 1, excellent Chronos, as well as all the ultimate usage, really. Especially the Vision game, I thought was like pretty impressive in game 1, where it seemed like you guys really had to nail those big team fight ultimates, but you always seem to know exactly where OG were because those nice deep wards that were going on. And then game 2, you just kind of held fast from that rushing side. But you said you've been getting a lot of practice with your strats and stuff. So does that mean you guys have mostly been playing scrims and stuff because you haven't been doing a lot of tournaments lately?
I mean, we wasn't playing tournaments recently because we just got our roster ready. But we did a lot of scrimming for this tournament, like 2 weeks of scrimming. We figured out some good strats and different heroes we can play around, and we were just playing near it. OG was playing some strats, but we always have another to answer with.
Is that a boot camp you guys are doing, or
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
a lot
we're
of online
bootcamping.
scrims? Okay.
We're bootcamping.
Very cool. I want to ask you about game 2. You played the Magnus. Talk to me about choosing to go Guardian Greaves before the Blink Dagger. Was that just to make sure you had enough to spell that you could handle all those early team fights?
I mean, let's be real. When you're playing against Silencers Global, against Roots, against Dark Hole spells, you cannot go just Dagger. There's no way you're casting your spell. So I just go Greaves and making my way into the team fight. So I can at least cure and RP someone. Because there was no play for Dagger in this game. I mean, early Dagger.
Yeah. Lacoste was very complimentary of the item selections across the board in both those games, but especially game 2. The Lotus, the Glimmer Cape, the Manta. It seems like you guys had a very clear game plan and everybody itemized like perfectly for this game 2.
And now you guys you have a week, I think, until your next match here. And that'll be versus Team Error. Are you looking forward to facing the new stack? Have you scrimmed them at all?
Yeah, we scrimmed them a lot. I would say I think we scrimmed them mostly. So we know what they're playing and they know what we are playing, but we're learning much from scrims, so I think we're super confident as well.
Okay. How would you rate the team Error? Because I think a lot of the people out there would love to know. They only seen 4 games yesterday from them. Like, are they really, really good? I'm not asking about leak any information. Just what is your feeling? Are they a good contender to be like a tier 1 team?
If you ask me, to be honest, I think that they just need some time to become a really good team. But overall, they're just decent team right now. Not like tier 1. I mean, no offense. They just no one needs some offline practice. So they need some bootcamp to figure out their ideas and stuff. So that's what just I'm thinking.
That's a great answer. That's what I was hoping to actually see, like what they're doing. I also no one played mid for like last 4-5 years, and now he's shifted to the offlane, so that's going to be a big difference for him.
Yeah, it's always like this when you reroll. You just have to practice a lot. It's not like 2 or 3 months. You have to practice like 1 year at least. So to become really good, have a good hero pool. So you just have to work on it.
The grind continues. All right, DM. Well, thank you so much for joining us here and sharing some insight. We'll let you get out of here, and good luck moving forward. Next match coming up November 19th.
Thank you, dude. Have a good evening.
You too.
You too.
Wow.
We forgot to rib on him for being the old man. Damn.
Oh, yeah, the old man at age 20.
It.
Shit.
We'll get him on the next one.
I let him go too soon. That was my bad. I totally
Production, call him again. We forgot to ask one question.
So, up next, we will have Liquid versus Na'Vi. Now, I'm not in any hurry to throw it to a break, though, because, gentlemen, I think it is going to be a longer break. That match, production, correct me if I'm wrong, not scheduled to start for a whole nother hour, right? So, Liquid Na'Vi will be up next, but this is not a play after event. So, we are going to have that full break, and then this next series will start at the turn of the hour coming up in 60 minutes. So, how's it going, gentlemen? How we feeling?
Yeah, so
you guys get tuned out right about now.
No, but any other thoughts to wrap up the VP OG series before we move on to Liquid Na'Vi? I don't know if there's too much more to say about the shellacking we just saw.
Yeah, glad to see Virtus.Pro back at having a great roster. I think all of these players, we already said, they're 19, 20 years old, and everyone seems to be very eager to win and a lot of discipline for such a young squad.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. They did not seem to make any like YOLO plays or too aggressive and greedy stuff. It was again just like knowing their own way to win and just playing around that very securely.
Yeah, I want to learn more about this Save fellow because he's their shot caller. I guess he's their captain and drafter, at least, as listed on Liquipedia. Do you know much about Save, Lacoste? Does he have a rich history that I'm just not aware of? Looks like most of his time in professional Dota has been on Virtus.Pro with a short stint on Fly to Moon in 2019.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Haven't seen too much before. Like he kind of showed in 2019. I think he was on trial for Virtus.Pro and things were not working out. So they swapped the roster and then he came back in again on Virtus.Pro.
I see. Okay. Be curious to hear the story of how he ended up becoming the captain of this current iteration of the squad, but also a 10K MMR player. So, you know, he's got the stripes, guys. He's an accomplished pubber. So a natural evolution, right?
mostly a support pubber as well. So that's pretty impressive. You know,
that actually
10K,
is an accomplishment.
yeah, grinding all the support stuff. Oh, look, guys, his Dota buff's open too, so you can go stalk his replays and learn how to be great like him. Boom.
Oh, good.
That's some quality knowledge right there. Rank 34 immortal. Nice.
Yeah.
Not even top 10 with 10K. Jeez.
Europe's tough out there, man.
Yeah. That ain't NA servers. Production, so please advise on what the game plan is here. Do we start hyping up this next series? Are we going to come back and do a little pre-show before Navi Liquid gets started? Do we have any B-roll to show? What's the game plan here? What do we do to fill this gap? Do we have any board games, perhaps? I heard Lacoste is pretty good at Twister. Okay. All right, so confirmed. We're going to go into a break, and then about 50 minutes, we're going to come back, and then we're going to hype up this Liquid versus Navi series, and we'll dive right into that. So first series complete. A lot more to come here for Epic League. We'll be back. See you then.